Jason Wydrow here with Online Strategy Podcast on this Thursday, October 21st, 2021. Normally what I like to do on these podcasts is discuss real-life situations that I've been through and what I've learned from those situations with the hope that they provide some insight or information to you as a business owner in relation to your business or your marketing, particularly your promotion, public relations, and marketing. First off, I'm going to say this past couple weeks has been extremely eventful, busy, very busy. And it's always a pleasure to sit down and do a podcast like this. So the purpose of this podcast is to cover the subject of logical sequences of marketing, public relation, or promotional actions that you are trying to conduct in your business and your business model. And I'm going to extend this out to functional decisions. And what I mean by functional decisions is things that anyone would interact with on the internet in relation to your business. Whether it is a search functionality, searching something on your website, submission of data through your website, and any other types of interactions that an end user, a potential customer, existing customer, or a website visitor would use to utilize your information or what you offer. And the first thing I want to say, the most important thing about this subject in all these areas I just named is really sequencing out and looking at the various component parts. And you can look at it from the standpoint of inbound information, outbound information, and what happens in the middle. So when we think about logical sequences in marketing, promotion, public relations, or these function points, the best thing you can do is really step back, discuss the problem with internal and external views on the subject, notate all the information down, and then really pinpoint and determine what is needed to carry out each sequence of the steps. Now, this is obviously nothing new, what I'm saying. I'm telling you this in a new light based on things that I've had to help sort out for other businesses. And it comes to light because it happens a lot, surprisingly. It's part of what I do. It's part of my service. It's part of what I offer. But the consequence for not taking these steps and these actions can be just countless in cost, not just in dollars, but potentially staff, of course, the income point, potentially reputation, all sorts of things can begin to work against you, not to mention a competitor who did their homework, who did their sequencing, who did their logical steps, and has a better product or service, and making that available in a better, more organized way. The point is, there's a lot of moving parts, and depending on how complex, and I don't mean complex as an impossible, I mean complex as many moving parts, you have to really take that into consideration. And it's very difficult to take that in consideration without the fundamental background knowledge of a specific area. So if you do not have firsthand knowledge of how to do something, can you expect to miss steps or be out sequence meaning not in the correct sequence of what would normally get the end result product that you're trying to achieve? For example, if you're creating a marketing campaign, You can go back to some of my earlier podcasts and consider the runway concept. Where is that person that you're trying to communicate and get a message to? Where are they on your launch pad? Where are they on the runway of your product line? Are they a long-term loyal customer, or they know nothing about you? They know nothing about your product, and you're basically inventing everything to them freshly and newly so they can be aware of you. So there's this huge spectrum in between. And so that sequence of steps and everything in between, and again, this applies to functional on your website. So if we're talking about something that's searchable, data or information that's searchable, that data, first of all, has to be in a format that's searchable before anything can even be wrapped around it to allow it to be searched. So anyway, my point is there's different levels of knowledge at every step of every one of these sequential processes, and it's worth spending time up front to really understanding what you're jumping into when you are taking on any of these technical actions, particularly related to your website, digital advertising, or any online marketing. Because they all tie together. The functional experience on your website, the functional experience that one goes through when they're interacting with your business online, is a representation of your business. And if that's not working properly, imagine going on Amazon and you kept clicking add to cart and nothing worked. Or you tried to search for a product, but nothing would come up that was relevant to your search, but the products were there. So something's obviously not working properly, and that causes concern for a consumer. That causes aggravation. That causes maybe I can go somewhere else and find a better result somewhere. So there is a lot of moving parts in these things that I'm talking about. There's different knowledge areas. There's different hats per se that are being worn on these different subjects, and understanding these different logical sequence steps to being successful in these things. But, the real point of this podcast is just to stand back, really look, what you're trying to achieve, and do the homework necessary to make that happen. Jason Wydrow here with Online Strategy Podcast. Thank you very much for listening in today. Until next time, have a great day.